Now, it looks like the engineer that I have bunking with you, Argyle, is missing. So, once they arrive, you'll be bunking with them. Next up, Alice and Ifrit. You two will be bunking together. Let's see, who's next on my list? Is Tali and I believe it's pronounced Tashir. Forgive me, my accent is a little funky at times. And forgive me, what's your name again?
Right. You may call me Chip.
Chip, you're bunking with Raoul. Who are you in the middle, with the white hat? I don't believe I saw your name on the roster, or it was added at the last minute.
Yes, Matt Lancer Pierce, sir. Researcher.
Very well, Researcher Pierce. You'll be bunking with Chief of Engineering Mercer here.
Understood.
Let me see. What was your name again, with the red hair?
Dallas.
I'm sorry?
Dallas.
Dallas. And forgive me again, my memory is not the best.
Archer. Pedro Delon.
Thank you for reminding me, Archer, but Delan and Dallas, you'll be bunking together. And I'm looking for one of our other security members because they'll be bunking with you. I know that they tend to hide. But Archer, once they arrive, you'll be bunking with them. Let's see here. Jasper. You'll be bunking with Valora over there. And then where are you? Chef, you'll be bunking with Akira. And unfortunately, we have one room that is... Actually, wait a minute. I'm forgetting someone. Mir, your roommate is yet to arrive. So, once again, once they do, you'll be bunking with them.
Understood.
With that, I have nothing further. Go. Explore the ship, get yourselves acclimatized, and get to your stations, and familiarize yourself with them. You'll be departing soon. All dismissed!
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Captain.
Captain alert.
Of course.
As this is a new crew, perhaps it would behoove us to hand over the dossier. I'll be able to pour over it,
I am Rolka.
ensure that everyone aboard this ship is who they say they are, and hopefully none have hidden agendas.
Knowing you, Argyle,
Be staying together.
I already anticipated you asking me. given your expertise. Here's the dossiers with the properly redacted information. Unfortunately, there are some things even I don't have access to.
How redacted are you speaking? How much information has been removed by the UPA?
Mostly personal issues. Relevant medical history and service records are on that documents. But as for they are in their personal lives, I don't even know. So, it's going to be a good deal of exploration. Though, I trust you'll find all that out in good time.
Yes, it's quite a bit to pour through, but I'll do my part. After
Well.
all, as a security member, it's my job to ensure that everybody aboard this ship is taken care of.
As it is mine.
And safe.
And, by the way, it is good to see you again.
Likewise. Let's hope that this voyage doesn't turn out much like the last.
I still have the scars to prove that one.
Find other members of security. Do tell them to come and
Captain,
see me there.
Yes.
is there a charging station on the ship for me to rest at?
Yes. Unfortunately, right now, if I'm looking at my lists correctly, your roommate has yet to arrive. So, you're going to be bunking alone. But all the rooms are equipped with appropriate charging stations for various tools and equipments that you might need. I'm sure that a port can be modified either by Mercer's engineering team and science to accommodate you. Forgive me, it's very difficult to switch between Galactic Common and Vlocken.
Understood, Captain. If it saves space and resources, I could set myself up in the engineering bay.
You're a member of this crew. You have a right to a bed and a room.
Understood. Thank you, Captain.
Of course.
Captain, are we assigned rooms or are we just picking?
The rooms I'm just letting a people fall into. As long as you have the same bunkmate, I really could care less.
Alright then.
Although, seeing as you're the superior officer to the person you're bunking with, if I may make the recommendation that you keep a closer room to either the engineering dock or the reactor. But
Plan to.
that's your department, not mine, so I'll let you choose on that. Did you have any further questions for me?
No, Captain.
Very well then, you're dismissed. Ah, Dr. Talley.
Moment of your time.
Of course.
Hello. It is very nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I come to you with a question.
Hmm?
I know you have paired me with this Tashir, and I have spoken with her, and it seems she will be able to breathe the gas that I breathe, as I do not breathe oxygen.
Yes, I remember reading that in your dossier. Your species is not common around the rest of the UPA, so it is an
No.
honor to have you on board.
Thank you very much for the flattery. If possible, would we be able to make it so that I am able to get out of my suit for nights?
It is uncomfortable to sleep in, though I can do so.
We'll see what we can do. The garnering of
course.
the methane might be a bit of an issue, but I'm sure we can set... It would more than likely be a conversation with engineering. We'd probably have to set up a recycler to clean out the room before you exit it so that you can reuse it.
Okay. Thank you.
Make a
That is all I have.
request for the station before we depart. See if they can give us some method.
Please do so. Also, requisition a few of the smaller canisters for Tally's suit as well. I don't want them choking on anything.
We'll increase the current storage capacity.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank you very much.
of course.
Any specific rooms or pick room?
The rooms you can choose to lie in. As long as you two are bunking together, I don't really have any qualms with you picking your room. Oh, one of their latecomers is here.
We'll ask you about room specifications for me later down the line.
Understood. If there's nothing further, then.
No, sir. Have a good day.
Sorry, Captain, I'm late.
Any particular reason as to why?
Blacking out a lot lately. Too much head trauma.
Well, get it looked over by medical. As for your room situation, find MU. They'll be your roommate.
MU? Gotcha.
It shouldn't be too hard to miss.
Thank you very much. Where, by chance, do they find medical around here?
A what?
I haven't seen around the ship. Where would I find medical?
Ah, follow me then. Since you missed the little spiel I just gave, your commanding officer is James Mercer. He primarily operates within his EVA suit, so it won't be too hard to see him.
Copy that.
Crew quarters.
Let's see, are there any of the medics in there to begin with? Doesn't look like it yet. However, just go around the corner and you're first right. Medical's right there.
Of course.
Opposite end of the deck.
I'll come to medical at a later time.
Opposite end is security. If you go back a bit and through those doors downstairs to the crew quarters, you'll find engineering.
Thank you.
Of course.
My room. What would that be in?
Well, I'm not sure if MU picked out a room yet, since I'm not exactly assigning specific rooms. Just so long as you're staying with your bunkmate. Archer?
Of course.
These are the primary rooms. 4 down there, the rest down there. There's an additional 4 up in the reactor levels. Simply take the way back to engineering, hang a left, and go up the elevator. You'll find it. But down there is the engine room and the core... Well, the core of engineering, more or less. Anything else I can do for you?
Nothing currently. That'll be all, Captain. Thank you.
Void be with you. Yes, Dallas.
Question: are rooms assigned, or are we first come first serve?
I've been getting this question quite frequently. Rooms are not assigned. Take your pick.
Alright. Perfect. R3 or red 3.
I guess we'll figure out who's who in a list sometime later. The rooms are still available.
Exactly. Once our rooms are picked, I'll be going through and checking to see which ones are still available. And should we pick up any stragglers along the way, they'll be assigned to those rooms.
Understandable. I'm pretty sure I haven't even talked to my roommate yet. I'm pretty sure neither one of us care which room we get.
Well, then whichever one you pick is the one you get. So,
Understandable.
very well, if there's nothing more, I'll be taking my leave. Pleasure to meet all of you again. Get comfortable.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
I thought I saw you in the hangar, but then you disappeared. You alright?
So we're yet to detect the crew member given to us by Commander Narsec.
Interesting. Keep
Would
doing...
you like me to hail his ship?
Alright, let me take it in the command room.
Beginning hailing. Call denied. Message received.
Play message? Or is it a message from me to him?
Playing. Message. This is not an audio file. Translate. Captain of Tara 1, congratulations on your position. I cannot take your call at this time as I am preparing your gift and welcoming. I am making certain that the individual I am giving you so that your mission can be a success is properly prepared, briefed, and equipped.
Alright, return message. I appreciate your thoroughty of it. Send them over when you're ready. But we are departing soon, so I cannot wait here all day.
Message sent. I'll update you if he sends a reply.
Thank you. Someone's left their combat knife out.
We do on the ship. Apparently, in security.
It is an exploration vessel.
I'll bet you're working all right now.
Captain?
Chef.
First search result. Anyway,
Is that his name, Captain? His name really Chef?
That's all I was able to find on the records.
what?
Huh. Oh. Alright. Interesting.
A bit of an odd one, that one.
There's-
But-
Yeah, his name is Chef. Thank you. Yeah, I was just curious.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
Archer. Yes. I knew that because you have your name on your jacket.
Oh, you didn't know it because I blurted it out when I wasn't supposed to.
That too. But I also just noticed the tag. Yes, and
You
Dallas.
should get a tag. That'd make it easier.
You know, it might be a good idea. Well, pleasure to meet you. Security? No, you're science. You're science.
Actually, I'm the pilot.
Oh, the pilot?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, no pressure.
I mean, it's mostly the computer that does it anyway. I just type in stuff, you know.
Alright.
Have you piloted a ship this big before?
I mean, I've done transport ships, but this one's pretty big. I haven't done one like this though.
Well, I hope your reputation
I mean, I
upholds.
looked in the bridge. I looked in the bridge. It all looks pretty standard. I don't see anything that I don't get. So I think we'll be fine.
That's reassuring.
Yeah, I mean, it's not alien technology or anything, you know.
I was going to say it's
You know that, man.
worth the
You know
meaningless,
that.
huh?
It's not alien to me.
Apologies, Captain. I know you said the names of who was assigned them, but didn't necessarily see them.
Ah, yes. Rooms are just being personal choice. Wherever you choose to fall, that's your room.
I proclaim room number 4 in the red section to be ours, for 4 is my lucky number.
Good thing you said that because I'm room number 3 in the red section. So.
Well, that's lucky, because if you were room number 4, I would have to cook you.
I'm taking room number 2. Red, down there.
At least he has fun with his job.
Nobody's taken it yet.
Very good.
That doesn't seem to conflict.
Very good.
I should let my
The
roommate
closest
know if I
assigned.
ever find that.
Sorry.
Excuse me, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
I should find my roommate too, actually. I haven't even spoke to them yet.
I saw Ral passing by. Don't know where.
Krogan that just entered security.
Yes. Why?
Understood. Captain, there's been some concern about equipment.
Hmm.
Science just stopped by security. I'm wondering if we had acquired the scanner.
Their scanner. Personal or departmental?
I believe it was personal.
Didn't see anything in the requisition logs. Computer.
Is
Yes, Captain.
Was there anything brought up in the logs about a personal scanner?
I believe it was Dr. Tully. If that is helpful.
Dr. Tully has included a personal tech scanner within their personal effects brought aboard the ship.
Alright. Has it arrived on board?
I believe so. If it was not on their person, it may be included within some of their extra equipment that has been left in medical or the hangar bay.
Very well. If you wouldn't mind informing them for me.
I will do so immediately.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain.
Of course.
I'll go return to my duties.
If there was like a
Hmm.
if there was like a lost and found, is that security? If we find something that's misplaced?
That is an odd question. I'd assume so.
You can always start with us. We'll do our best to ensure that whatever you've lost will be returned.
I guess more of the question is there some sort of logistics officer that is in charge of that sort of thing?
You know, most of it's actually...
I can't imagine the job around this ship.
Most of our logistics are headed by the AI that you just heard me speaking with.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Not my primary choice, but orders are orders.
Pardon me, rude of me. The name is Argyle Cross. You may refer to me as Officer Cross, or Argyle, or whatever you prefer.
Okay, Argyle. I think you heard in the hangar.
Excuse me, I'm going to go speak with Palace.
Aye. Yeah, I'm
Director Palace.
very hastily placed.
I'm hoping that the science department in O2 are to your satisfaction.
They were really.
For now, it meets our needs. Dallas brought to my attention some of the leftover supplies. They look used. But we'll make do. Find out what they are.
Well,
try not to cause an explosion.
Here's hoping. The UPA had this place constructed pretty well, so I doubt that we'll be encountering any explosions unless people are firing upon our ship.
I see. Let us hope.
That being said, feel free to access the AI to requisition any artifacts, effects, or other things that you might need for your duties. As long as everyone's able to do their job, that's the important thing.
It spoke with me already. Told me about supplies and...
Very well. Yes.
Pardon me?
I've gotten a reply from Commander Narsa.
Is he hailing me, or is he just sending me a message?
It is another message.
Very well. Excuse me, I must take this in the control room.
I think I need a trip to medical bay. Okay. I'm gonna go do that.
So how much have you had to drink?
Alright, begin the message.
Message reads: I have finished my overview of the tool's effectiveness, and I have made sure that it will treat you properly. Should it step out of line, do not feel pressured to keep it. It is yours, and yours to do with as you need. I have sent them over now.
Interesting. Send a generic thank you message. Tool? I thought we were getting a crewmate. Chef, is everything to your liking in your jurisdiction, I should ask?
Oh, yes. Yes, Captain, more than enough.
Good. I'm glad that it meets your satisfaction.
Yes, with the most powerful cooking utensil in the world, I will become the greatest chef in the galaxy.
And that utensil would be?
The microwave. Have you not seen it?
You mean a microwave?
Because we pronounce it different upon my planet. Come, Emission. Make way, make way.
Apparently, I'm going to be seeing a microwave.
Make way, woman. Make way.
This should be interesting. Yes.
We can walk and talk.
Very well.
Just wanted to give you an update.
Mm-hmm.
The reactor and AI core seem to be running smooth.
Good to hear.
I still need to do a scan of the exterior of the ship, but for the most part, things seem ready to go.
I don't even see where he went. Good to hear. Alright.
Past your room.
He's probably in the kitchen. That makes a lot more sense. But, good. Keep me reported if anything changes. And if the AI starts to exhibit any other... or any quirks, shall I say. Not too keen on having them on board.
Fuck.
Our new crewmate.
We're fucked up.
No, that would be our new crewmate. That the commander sent over.
I see.
They're shrouding themselves with a perception filter. Pretty standard, though an advanced tactic.
Alright, bud.
Well,
So yes, I'll do an exterior scan of the ship, see how things are,
thank you.
and go from there.
Hopefully we'll be able to depart soon enough. I think that was the last crew member that we had scheduled on board.
Alright.
Hmm.
I think, one of the engineering is currently, a little sick.
Ah,
I think they went to bed early today.
understood. Well, hopefully they feel better. And if they don't, send them to medical to get it once over. Would rather us not have any plagues. Speaking of diseases, that actually brings me up to something. Alice, I actually do have an assignment for you.
Yes, Captain.
Leave you to it, Captain.
You might actually want to hear this one, Mercer. Might involve you making some adjustments to the ship. Given the wide variety of species that we have on board, I would like you to create a decontamination protocol. Especially since we're going to be investigating foreign worlds. I'd rather not have the crew come back with some super virus that could destroy our entire planets.
Well, in a perfect world, if people are wearing their EVA suits properly, we won't have to deal with that.
Even then,
But I understand what you're talking about.
individuals such as Pallas here are also prone to certain other exterior forces that might come in contact with our EVA suits. I'd rather us be able to decontaminate before getting on board. No sense putting anyone at unnecessary risk. If you could do that for me, it'd be much appreciated.
Yes, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I will certainly do that. Preferably for the outsides of the suits and the insides. Once you take them off.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Pallas.
Yes.
I'm sure you two will be working together in tandem on that one.
I look forward to it.
Very well. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have an interesting conversation with the chef to continue, and I'm not going to lie, I'm partly afraid of it.
I wish you luck with that, Captain.
Forgive me, I got sidetracked with ship preps.
I achieved life.
I'm sorry,
Now
what?
Allow me to show you my god. Come, Captain.
He was discussing how he achieved sentience while cooking rice.
Okay, let's see. What?
I can see the sentiment.
Oh, there is an actual microwave in here.
Yes, my
It's free
god.
from asbestos and most radiation.
Now look at the powers and
Most.
behold. Beep, 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 boop, beep.
I fucking love that.
Bottle of water.
You
Excuse me?
you microwaved a plastic bottle of water.
Some species do need a daily intake of microplastics.
I don't.
Whether he's one of those species, I'm not certain.
I will become the greatest chef in the galaxy, Captain.
It's very warm.
Ah, yes.
Does it
That would be
taste-
the microwave radiation.
Hmm. If it tasted thick, that would be the microplastics.
It does leave a bit of an after texture on your tongue. I can't indulge in such a delicacy by myself. Someone else should partake in it and not. It needs to be shared.
Yes, I insist.
Nope.
This water is 23.5% microplastics. I wouldn't suggest drinking that.
That's my secret ingredient.
Plastic?
Microplastic.
Would you like some?
Thank you.
Probably good,
Oh, yes.
but thank you for the offer.
No worries, Captain. See, with this machine, I can keep everyone on this ship alive. The life giver, sustenance producer.
Background radiation.
It is the most versatile.
I've seen people
machine
do
ever made.
strange things.
Having mastered the
I wanted to
microwave
ask, Captain, do you know when we'll be... Do you know when we'll be departing?
I haven't been given an ETA or...
Apologies.
What's the other term for it? I haven't been given a full ETA or a departure approval by the station we're docked at right now. But we should be shortly. At least by the end of the day.
Understood.
So these creatures that you are that are made in vats, organic flesh vats. Could we by
Vats?
chance get hold of one of these vats?
I'm afraid that's strictly medical property.
Ugh.
I'd love to grow a sushi.
Corporations. Ugh. Thought it was bad enough with Argyle and that. I did read that in your dossier that you were a former member of Martello. Martello's one of the cruelest corporations out there. It's a miracle you're even alive.
I did what I had to do.
You won't get any further.
Plaster themselves.
Hmm? Go on.
They plaster themselves as a one of the good ones. But if you actually look into it, you'll find nothing but corporate lies upon advertisements, upon whatever else you could think of.
Well, all corporations are a plague on this galaxy, if you ask me, but we can discuss this further.
That our chef just pulled a gun on me.
Alright, time to go deal with that. Chef, did you pull a gun on one of our crewmates?
Oh no, Captain, this is not a gun. It is a long-range cooking apparatus.
That is a firearm.
It is not a gun.
It is a firearm.
Chef, if you wouldn't mind dropping that off in security just so that they can give it a once-over.
Oh yes, well, don't worry, I've got it set to reheat, not flambe.
Either way, it'd be much more comfortable if you took it over to security first.
Of course, well, you are the captain. I will finish up what I'm doing here and head straight there.
Do you require a background check with all firearms that we may or may not be carrying?
All firearms should be turned into security. You're allowed a personal side melee weapon, but for the time being, firearms are to be distributed as necessity dictates. That is acceptable.
Go drop off the pistol.
Yes.
I'll be in security dropping this off.
I'll meet you there. I was doing an exterior scan of the ship. Apparently, while the ship was being moved to this station, they had hit a meteor. The left wing is currently got a panel bent out of shape.
Alright. MU.
Yes, Captain.
You, and Engineer Mercer, and if you think anyone else is needed for it, should make the repair.
Understood.
One of the wings was damaged during transit of the ship. A little bit of a oversight on their part, if you ask me, but we're going to need some of them to do a spacewalk to fix it before we can depart.
Understood. I'll be right behind you, Mercer.
Right this way.
Captain, if you have a moment.
Of course, let's walk and talk.
Indeed. I just wanted to double check with you, clarify on the policy on crew members holding their own weapons. I know UPA is not quite so fond of the idea, but I think it's frankly absurd given the work we are likely going to doing.
Well, Gunch, as much as I agree with you on that, and as much as I think it was vital to the survival of the crew that they all have access to a firearm, unfortunately, the UPA is one of the entities that, until an actual situation happens, they're not going to change their minds. Believe me, I would much rather everyone have their sidearm with them, at the very least. But unfortunately, for the time being, it's out of my control. But, should the emergency ever arise, I'm very quickly going to instate a firearm policy.
And by all means, me and my team are prepared for the eventuality should we need to arm people.
Good.
And I trust people will know where to get those things.
Hopefully, people will get acclimatized to the ship's corridors soon enough and will be able to make their way to security on their own in case of an emergency, but there's an old human saying that I remember I think he was an ensign at the time. He said, prior proper planning prevents piss-poor performance. In short, expect every situation before it happens, and you'll be fine.
Words to live by.
Indeed.
Well, I'll inform my team.
Good.
Before we step off, I'll be sure to confiscate everyone's weapons as much as I regret to do so.
A moment, Captain. Was I bunking with the Chief of Security here, or was that someone else?
Yep, Commander of Security Gunchair is your roommate.
sir.
You're my bunkmate. I didn't quite make your face when we were first announced.
With your hand super hard Captain.
Argyle?
When you assigned us rooms, I don't believe I caught a number.
I'm not giving numbers on this one.
Try me, Captain.
Say, first come, first serve for the time being.
Understood, and how will we know if somebody has already claimed a room?
That is more of a question for the II. I know that red rooms 2, 3, and 4 are claimed.
We'll find one. I don't believe I've seen my bunkmate, although you said they were from engineering?
Yes, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, your bunkmate's actually sick right now. They're in medical receiving treatment. Minor fever. Shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Yes, sir. Sure will claim a room before they're all
Booked up.
taken.
Everyone seems to be functioning pretty well. I don't see any issues thus far. I can see you, you know. You must be the individual the commander's sending over.
Yes.
A pleasure. Captain Harbinson.
I am referred to as servant.
Well, that won't do. What did you have a name before you came on board? I see.
Commander has always referred to me as servant.
Hmm.
That is what I am.
We'll have to find a name for you then. For the meantime, I'll call you Siri. Well, welcome aboard. You'll be stationed with security. Gunch is your head officer. I'm not sure. The commander didn't give me a full briefing on your capabilities. Clearly you're psionic, but...
This is my mission report. It is not to be shared with anyone but you. For the commander's orders. What I have done. The missions I have done.
Extensive records. Assassin. The commander approved all these. Some of these are very, specific, it seems.
I was given a task and I did it.
Very well. Well, hopefully we won't be doing any assassinations, but if we need to quickly remove a target, you'll be the first one I contact. Try working with Argo. You both seem to have a similar skill set. Get used to each other.
I'll try and find.
Hard to miss. He's the orange bird. Welcome aboard again, Siri. And feel free to mingle with the crew. After all, we depend on each other for survival out here. Actually.
Hello, yeah, I'm here. What do you need? Hi, I'm trying to determine if number 2 is taken. I just hit the button.
Yeah, I have no idea. There's
Okay.
no concrete determination of which rooms are taken and not.
Understood.
We might not figure that out.
I don't think we have a lot of people. Captain, would you be so kind to get a scan?
Alright. Where do you need me?
Anywhere, really. Nothing specific. On a character, what do you have? It doesn't matter, we're gonna make a threat anyways, but what can I scan on? What is your... What you like, what you don't like? I don't know, I'm being really not specific. Light is so much better than me, I don't know. I was trying to listen, but I couldn't.
Anything that would pop up on a medical scan.
There you go.
The scan would reveal several different scars on the back, primarily from plasma fire, as well as a few concussions in the past. Otherwise, perfectly healthy. The only other thing that would show up is a set of ear implants.
Okay. Thank you for the scan, boss. I'll do boss.
Captain. Very well. Is there anything that medical needs before we depart? I'm putting in final requisitions now.
I mean, I'm trying to get scans of...
Yeah, it's like more of, I think we gotta scan everybody else to make sure if we don't need to get like special stuff, because I know we need at least
there you go.
Methane gas for at least one person, and they're also apparently their blood is more copper based. Like, so that one's a bit of a different, that's for sure.
Seeds from herbal plants so can make herbal remedies, and
Did they specify which type of seeds?
more so I can work with them and make herbal remedies for people.
I see.
I might want to double check with the hydroponics then to see what seeds they have and what they don't, so that we can figure out which ones we need.
Yes, get things cleared with Palace before you make that decision.
Yeah, considering their hydroponics.
Then need tub full of water so can sleep without having to have this on.
We'll see what we can do. Though, it will be needed to be drained every day just in case of an issue with the gravity simulators.
Yeah. Yeah, I will drain it myself.
Very well. Anything else that we need? I've already put in the requisition for the methane gas. Any other special accommodations that you can think of off the top of your heads now?
Well, I don't know how we're going to deal with just pure biomass, because apparently that's how they have to be healed by.
Just need to consume any form of biomass.
We'll see if we can...
Food.
There's also...
Yes.
Shouldn't be too hard then. We have O2 and hydroponics working, so we should be able to grow a decent enough supply for them.
Captain?
Ah, Engineer Mercer, what's going on?
The panel outside has been fixed. Had to replace the wiring that was damaged, but nothing we couldn't handle.
Very well.
For the most part, it's fine. It's gonna need repainting, but
Cosmetics are not my concern right now. Functionality above all.
other than that, we're ready to go whenever you are.
Very well. I'll contact the rest of the crew.
The one who's ahead of
Understood.
the science.
Computer, could you please alert all the crew members that we're ready for departure? Tell Archer to get to his station on the bridge, and all other crew members to be there as well. I'd rather us all take the main voyage, viewports ready and all.
She is a beautiful ship, Captain.
That she is. I have to give you your kind credit. Your engineering and designs are flawless.
Yeah, well, feels like more and more ships are built for war.
I
don't know why.
Unfortunately, conflict seems to keep finding everyone no matter what we do.
Yeah.
There always exists a reason for it, but maybe not so readily. I will say the place feels a bit Despite its beauty and its own engineering marvels, it's a bit colder than what I'm used to. Feels empty. Ugh.
We're about to travel into unknown space, at least to the UPA.
Mhm. We don't, someone else will beat us to it. It's a natural progression of life. Expand outward, move forward. Here's hoping it doesn't get us all killed now.
Operations are in place.
Hmm?
I take it.
I heard 3 voices at once.
Planning on killing us all, Captain?
No, I don't.
Why would the captain do that?
Joke.
I just got called over. I'm here.
Wonderful. Get into your position, Archer. We're getting ready for departure. No, I figured it would be a nice thing to see everyone look into the void for a bit as we depart from this station and enter the unknown. There's something poetic about it.
Poetic. Yes. Existentially terrifying. Certainly.
Oh, we're all born.
Definitely.
Well, that's the thing everyone seems to forget. We're all born from the void in one way, shape, or form, be it physical or different forces at work. Excellent. We'll give them a few more moments before we depart. Those of you that are here, please take stations.
Yes, Captain.
Indeed. That's fine. Which station would you like me on, Captain?
Portside Station 2.
Yes, sir.
So you're James Mercer.
I suppose I should take up
Yes.
here.
I'm Jack Archer. People are gonna get us confused.
Captain.
Yes.
God, I hope not.
I haven't gotten scans on everyone. Are we departing and picking up supplies on the go if it so comes up?
We shouldn't need anything else for others. We have most of the equipment needed.
Just trying to make sure, that's all.
No. Worst case scenario, we'll stop by an excess port and pick up more. Shouldn't be too hard.
Okay.
After all, we're going on a alliance building mission. We should be able to pick up supplies from them. Show good faith in trusting commerce, as the corpos would tell you.
Right, quick question about that, Captain,
Hmm.
if I may. I noticed, I mean, we have a lot of guns and security, and that's fine for, like, you know, internal safety, but I noticed we have a fighter, and we have missiles for it. I'm wondering what exactly we're expecting to come across?
Well, there's a wide variety of the uses of explosives, Archer. Primarily, we don't know what we're going to be encountering. For all I know, we could run into a sea kraken, or a void kraken. We could run into pirates hiding in the outer fringes that want to blow us to bits and take everything that we have. You never know. I'd rather have us all be on the safe side. Or we might just need to blow a hole through an asteroid.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I did see some equipment for asteroid mining, too.
Oh, good. We'll be able to gather all resources.
Yes. And something else I'd like to point out, Captain.
Hmm.
We might be contracted by the UPA, but we can make money doing other things.
I'm aware, but
We do have to repair and feed our people anyways.
this is all true. Been given extensive executive order or executive permission or calls. As long as the survival of our crew is paramount, I don't see why it should be an issue.
As long as we don't draw too much attention to ourselves.
That's the other unique factor about this. They don't know who we are if we're going out into that far. But also it's better to make a good first impression, I think.
Indeed.
Still, defensive countermeasures and assault. You never know.
I believe we're all set, Captain.
Very well.
Looking good up here too.
Fuel supplies.
Maxed out.
Yeah, you might want to ready the rest of the ship. In case they get a sudden jolt.
Come on, it's not that bad.
I will begin.
Not that bad, but if you're not
communications with the
expecting
station
it, you might go
to
flying.
prepare for our departure. We are now decoupled from the station.
Excellent. Argyle, how are our communications?
Well, we're operational.
Mm.
Fancy.
Gun scanners. Mew, shields. Alright. Archer, when you're ready, you may engage the warp drive.
Just need to double check those coordinates. Where are we heading to first?
I'm not here to give. I was.
Let me check my notes, Captain.
Yes, I'll re-upload Archer once I get the information. I'll upload it to the your terminal.
We're heading to the Kelton system.
All right.
Alright. Yeah. That's what's in here. Just wanted to make sure before we hit the big button, you know what I mean? Alright, everybody.
Brace yourselves.
You head down first. Pull us out of here.
Okay.
Actually, it's this button.
On here.
Fairly certain it's this button.
Gunch, you're too pessimistic. Have some faith.
Here we go.
Error 1 is cleared.
Inward science, inward.
Inwards. We'll clear the station.
I'll stay out here.
Feel free to get us out of here.
Alright, engage the hyperdrive. You guys might want to hold on.
Brace yourselves.
Get used to it.
Beautiful.
Jump successful.
Enjoy the view, folks.
Beginning system overview. If you need me, call for me.
ETA before you go.
ETA. Should be arriving on screen for the head engineer now.
Only like my second jump in my entire life.
Our current estimated travel time should be displayed on your screen now.
Your whisk gun.
Yes.
It's not a gun.
We should be arriving at the Kelton system
Sure about
beginning tomorrow.
All right.
As long as we're not knocked out of the hyper lane.
Yes, thank you, pilot.
Excellent.
Well, the odds of that happening are
very slim.
I never get tired of looking at the hyperlanes.
Interesting.
Good job, Archer. Smooth departure. Your name rhymes with far too much.
Don't get us too confused.
That'll be very hard for me to do. You're not Ginger.
Hi, Captain.
What?
Seems that your head of engineering is one.
Yeah? Would you rather be the speciest or hair colorist?
Rather be neither.
It's a good thing I'm not.
So I arrive tomorrow.
Yes. Well, that's what the computer says, so. I don't have the mental capacity to do all those calculations.
Understood.
I don't think you've been scanned. Has any medical come up to you and scanned you yet?
Only this
No?
one.
Okay. Well,
There are others in security who still yet to be scanned.
Very well. Thankfully, most members are in that room over there, so. Should make that one's job easier.
flags on you that I need to know about? Okay, I'm gonna assume you're a human being, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, good. Thank God. I don't want to have.
Hmm. I'm so used to this door being automatic.
Captain, are there any methods that need to be cleaned at the moment?
Not right now. I'd hope not, at least. Although, double check the kitchen, because the chef doesn't strike me as the most, hygienic, shall we say.
Yeah. I'll go do that.
I believe it was 2, maybe 3. Shit.
I shall check with Chick and swipe one on the right
Yes,
over
that
there.
is the issue I had. I need to ask you, Dallas.
I finished
Captain
my
Anders.
maintenance for today.
Captain.
Oh, you're right there. I was looking past
Oh,
you, sorry.
Alright. If you'll excuse me, I need to get scanned.
Is there a problem?
Right behind you.
Just about to ask you about that.
Equipment malfunction. Of course you were. Small one. We can get it repaired. Lead the way.
If you'll show me to it, I can
Well, I
handle
mean,
it.
we could just do it on the spot. It doesn't have to be on medical. Just maybe not in the way of everyone. That's about it.
In front of everybody, you are going to scan me. Peachy.
It's just a scan. It's nothing big.
It's going to take off a gold watch. I can hand it to you.
Big guy, is there any? Do you have any implants on you or cybernetics?
Ortho grade poking device. Fortunately, it took quite a battering during my last mission with the captain.
Like, for example,
A cloaking device.
was to be
Better it than us.
to fix themselves. If you were a gelatinous creature, you need gelatinous.
I've worked with these on fires before. It's the same principle.
Okay.
There are some things I should make you aware of, though.
Yeah?
I have 2 of everything.
EM present.
Yeah, I can tell.
I am willing to fix this watch, I suppose. This cloaking watch.
It's better than when you're big.
Understood.
You have 2 of everything. You just have backups.
Yes, that is exactly the point. It is hard to knock me
It's
unconscious.
a very small device.
Well, you are pretty big too. You look pretty tough.
I think
tell.
yeah, I get a +4.
Can I speak to you privately?
Get a +4. Well, perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure we
As
can.
with a 17 +4.
Use the medical guy. I can
With
figure out
the
whatever's in there.
expertise that you've been taught and learned throughout your days,
Yeah, that works too.
we're able to figure out that the wiring has corroded the server for it. But you're able to salvage it and get it working again.
There was a corroded wire, but I was able to recycle it. It should be fully repaired.
Ah, perfect. Thank you very much.
Was there anything else you needed?
Thank you. That was it. Thank you for your assistance.
It's my job, Argyle.
Is there something you needed, Captain?
Nope, just doing my rounds now. Making sure everything doesn't fall apart while we're in the hyperlanes.
Understood. You and I both know very well that that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. You never know.
Captain?
Hmm. Yeah. Mhm. Gunch. Hmm.
Something I can help with, Captain?
Nope, just doing a walkthrough for the time being.
I see.
Alright then.
Yes?
What?
Something I can help you with?
Well.
If you use it for anything other than cooking, we will confiscate it.
Why would I use it for anything other than cooking? That doesn't make sense. Have you unpacked your things yet? It's all sitting in like a box. I was gonna go do my stuff. If you wish.
I already did put my stuff.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Captain, what are the rules on pets?
Pets?
We're on board a vessel that has very limited space and resources. Pets are not permitted on board.
Well, back at my old kitchen, I had a pet blobfish named Stuart. Sadly, he passed away. I was wondering, you know, I used to wear a little bow tie and everything. I was wondering if we found one, maybe I could keep him.
I don't think so.
Very well.
Living beings, no. If you get a hollow pet, I don't care. If you bring a rock on board, as long as you're not throwing it at people, I could care less.
So, if you could care less, you must care at least one. Because you cannot care negative.
Really?
He's right.
Okay.
Roger that, Captain. No pets it is. I understand.
Yes, no pets allowed.
Stuart,
Stuart's old bow tie will sit upon my mantelpiece in its place of honor.
Do as you wish.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I didn't mean. I didn't mean any offense, Captain.
None
my
taken.
apologies.
Chef, if I ask him for information on people and whatever not, I just need one more person, and then you can have it.
Is it this
Same
one?
as you too. No. Once I get the head engineer, I'll send you the information over so you can have it as well.
Yes. If anyone has any allergies, I must know.
I'm allergic to water.
What?
In large amounts.
You were just drinking water.
In large
Yes.
amounts. I think it's just more of the fact he
It
can't
was 25% microplastics. Roughly.
Okay, addict.
Too much water, bad for me. Kind of dissolve.
Hmm.
If you've ever thrown a toaster in water, it's the same sort of effect.
Why would I do that?
How would you use that analogy?
You're a chef. Hmm?
Why would you use that analogy specifically?
Because the effect is nearly identical.
You're looking for the water you short circuit.
I'm allergic to large amounts of water.
I don't know, I
So you
think it
just
sounded
have
like
Ian's
Nicole
swamp
decided.
bugs or anything of the like.
There's the head
Yes,
engineer.
one of
Why'd
the
you
old
look at the
toasters.
chief engineer?
Chase him.
I don't know. Yeah, he was supposed to. No. He told me that he's gonna come get me.
So, do you not like
He just
water
passed
in
by me, so I'm
general,
guessing
or
he still has
touching water
business
in
with his
general?
crew. So.
Look, we're just departing, so he's got a lot of systems checks that he needs to do. So I wouldn't take it too personally.
Or I use form.
I get it. The scan isn't that necessary.
Form.
Well, I mean, it's necessary, but it's not.
As long as
As long as it's before.
this is safe.
As long as they don't plan to be hurt before they get scanned.
I mean, he might just be human, so he probably doesn't have anything special other than maybe cybernetic implants. I need to check that.
They're
Same species, but not really.
they're definitely one of the species with some of the least uniqueness, but they're still very unique individuals.
Captain, is it true that humans are all the same and not special?
I feel a little bit.
Every species has its own outliers from the norm. That's all I can really say.
I would say humans, although they do not excel in anything, they
Yes.
cockroaches, like versatile, jack of all trades.
Just addressing.
How the heck is
Hmm.
that
Well,
possible?
Say
So
again.
truthfully, a lot of human DNAs and a lot of other creatures. I apologize.
Excuse me, just trying to sneak away from their conversation.
Mhm.
Captain,
Alice? Don't mind me. I'm just... This is the most live room in the ship, so... I'm just soaking that in.
yes, you are welcome here as much as you would like.
Thank you.
Yes.
Much more peaceful, less metallic and cold like the rest of the ship. Far warmer.
Isn't that the truth? Might I traverse with you? I have issues navigating steel.
Not a problem at all. Anywhere in particular you had to go?
No.
Hmm.
I don't know where I'm going.
Ah.
Most of the time. I will be walking this corridor to my technological scientists.
Hmm. Fair enough. Just watch out for that chef. He seems a little off.
Yes. He drew his whisk in my room. Insisted it was not a weapon.
A whisk?
It seems he has a kitchen utensil at the end of his gun. What looks like a gun. He insists it is not. Engineering already restricted it and approved it. Therefore, I must trust.
Agreed. I tried to have that handed over to security, but guess it did not take.
Well, any misuse of tools with the implication to harm or otherwise be a weapon in my laboratories will be swiftly removed and disciplined.
That is fully at your discretion. You have full authority to do what you need to do.
I wish to, at some point, speak with Mr. Mercer, is it?
Aye.
Engineering director. I must discuss fire protocols with him, as well as my ideas for decontamination, as you wished us to create.
Good. Glad you already have thoughts on it. From what I'm understanding, at least with our fire protocols, every single hallway is equipped with extinguishers.
Good.
Actually, I think these are some of the storage tanks for it as well.
Symbols. I love them.
It helps. It really does. Especially when you're not used to Galactic Common.
The better. I know many languages, so I tend to get vine-tied. I believe it'd be called tongue-tied. Otherwise...
Tongue-tied or tongue-twisted, as I remember it. Yes, unfortunately, it's a tight fit.
Back is all right. Nothing is worse than the crew closures.
Agreed.
I will make do. What is this floor?
This floor is the reactor room, backup rooms, as well as the sparring and gymnasium.
That's good to know. Are these real? I hope.
I think they are.
Yes.
It has soil,
I'll be
so...
sure to care for them. Could use more hydration. It will be addressed.
I'm just glad that they decided to put something living on board the ship, aside from the people manning it.
Other than the crew member. Yes.
It's definitely a adjustment from the ships I'm used to. Most of the ones that we have are psionically built to interface with one's own mind. The ship, in a way, almost feels like it has its own soul, given the fact that we all link our minds through it. It develops its own feeling.
Fascinating. So your vessel is essentially a mind with your psychic powers?
Yes. Vlaka usually link up their psionics to most of our machinery. That's why the ship feels so cold. I feel disconnected in a way. It's also why we don't tend to use AI. So having a artificial intelligence speaking to everyone is off-putting. I'm used to being able to communicate thoughts throughout the ship directly to my crewmates' minds. But I understand given the mix of people, but it still leaves the place feeling a bit soulless.
I myself am a psionic pariah. To my own kind, telepathy is natural, but is weak. Otherwise, I unfortunately cannot relate, other than to the bylaws.
I assume it's a similar thing, sensing the feelings of everything from the roots to the stem to the leaves.
That, yes, it is. So, that is my only point of reference. When you articulate how you felt about your former vessel.
I suppose it's a pretty good analogy. Although, I'm not sure if these speak to you, but it's almost like hearing a bunch of different conversations all at once at the same time, and having to filter out what's just... well, not to say that one's thoughts are irrelevant, but junk, and what is pertinent.
It is similar. It is not as loud, but I take it that's the reactor.
Yes. If I'm remembering correctly, fusion-based.
Oh, fascinating.
Not my realm of expertise, though. I was a soldier, and by extension and by our own protocols, they had me take courses to become more learned, shall we say. Something about well-rounded. That's what they told me. Something about a balance between mind and body. I agree with it. It did help me out in a time where I was a far more angry young man than I am today.
I see. Well, volatility is usually frowned upon in individuals in your position, so hopefully it will suit you well with the courses you've taken.
Well, it was all archaeology and history, so patience is a virtue with all of that.
Indeed.
But how are you liking the rest of your team?
Good, so far. I would like them to see their team as their first go-to, but the rest of the ship, everyone should work together. I made the analogy in a way that we are a cell, or, well, an organ would probably have been better, but the cells within the organ need to work together to make the body function. So, that is my wish for them.
Very good analogy, if you ask me. Accurate to it all.
Just like them to all get along.
Well, unfortunately, individuals are individual. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, I should say. An individual is an individual. Problems are bound to arise. It's just our job to make sure that they don't put everyone at risk. So.
Yes.
And that they're handled in a calm, collected manner. Or at least as calm and collected as you can be.
I agree to this.
So what about you, Palace? Where have you been from?
Oh, many places. Would you like to continue walking?
Sure. There's not much else up here, so we'll have to go back down.
The elevator again.
Yes.
Oh. Suppose we have two elevators.
Yes, it's a very...
Everyone in. Come on, come on. Nice and cozy.
Captain?
Engineer Mercer? I'm assuming, since you're in your day clothes, that you've finished your rounds.
Yes, everything's running accordingly.
Alright. Did you get your scan from medical yet?
I did.
Good.
They said I'm healthy and good to go.
Wonderful. Good to hear. Anything I should be aware of?
Not really.
Good. So it's smooth sailing.
Healthy. Replaced organs, oh.
Oh.
They had to replace their organ already.
Not here. Previous surgery.
Interesting. Well, I hope it's not causing you too much difficulty. I hear some of the replacements can be a little phantom itchy, almost.
They're, alright. Clone organs aren't usually the same. Although I think they put my kidneys in the wrong place.
What do you mean by they put your kidneys in the wrong place? They're not in your lower back like a regular person?
No, I'm pretty sure they put them, like, up here.
Ask the director of fleet. He might be able to remove them.
I don't want to do that.
I don't know, just the thought of it makes me uncomfortable.
Yes, same.
I don't have organs, so I don't know.
I can't really describe them. There's no way, there's no good analogy to do it. It's not like a feeling, it's just there. Although,
of functional tissues, all with their own purpose.
I'd assume at least one of them might be like a taproot, but that's about the only closest thing I can think of.
Yes, there is a few roots more important than others. But I suppose I'm a network of vessels is the best way to put it.
Capillaries and whatnot.
Yes.
Alright, ducking time.
I am flexible, but no contortionist.
No gymnast, I see.
This is awkward.
Yes. No.
I went to walk the other way and leave you two to your thing, and then I found you again.
That's been happening a lot lately.
If it suits you.
The ship circles a lot, so it's bound to happen, I guess.
Fair enough. Tight corridors and all that.
Don't mind, Captain. I'm gonna grab myself a drink.
That's where we were heading, so. You're in your off duty, so I don't care. I will say, at least they did put a bunch of different plants on board the ship. Sporadically. It does keep the place a little alive.
I'm grateful. It helps with oxygenation.
Oxygenation, humidity control. I thought we were scheduled to have a bartender here, actually.
By all means, I don't own it. You want something, Captain?
I'm fine. I'm still technically on duty for another hour or two.
I see.
I'm alright, thank you.
Very well.
Oh, I just remembered something. I forgot to tell my department. That's fine.
What did you forget to do?
I occasionally can enter a small dormancy, typically when entering a new environment, until it's able to be adjusted. This excludes climates. It's mostly enclosed vessels.
Ah, I see.
It sometimes happens. In the event that it does, I already told the medics that I'm not dead in my room.
Very well. I'll make sure that it stays that way if it occurs.
The chief of medical is my
Martello
roommate,
vomit.
so
They used to
it should not
one
be an
pleasure
issue.
of being in that damn corporation.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that the head of medicine is your roommate.
Same to you.
That it is. Do you get a roommate, or are you alone?
Surprisingly, they've given me my own room. Despite the rest of the ship being so uniform, they've given me one. I'm still used to bunking. Possibly. Don't know why. Then again, this isn't a Vulcan-designed vessel, so it might be common for humans.
In
Still.
my experience, the captain usually is alone. However, if there is a culture, they can share for
Shipbreaking.
space saving.
Well, Lock-ins are mostly a communal-based species, or used to larger family units between 10 to 12. So, sharing a room isn't really a difficult thing for me. Though being alone, not sure how I'm going to acclimatize to it yet.
I see. Interesting.
Power core is still power core. Why make
I've
another one
never
when you can
met
salvage it
a
from
lock-in such as
your ship
yourself.
that's probably retired due to battle or some other means?
Neither have I.
Suppose you got a point.
Sure, the hole's fucked.
Then again, they also did have a lot of time alone as a child, so shouldn't be too different from then.
Although I don't know how I feel about being on a ship with it salvaged.
This is true. It is nice to have a bunch of people in one small space that it's relatively easy to find. They're not spread out across a swath of different buildings and holds, so.
That would be nice.
Well, although you can find everyone you need with ease, despite the lack of psionic connection.
I hope me
And
not liking Mortello
I hope
though
you
is
can
not
find a sense of home.
Well, here's to it. I guess that's my own sort of dormancy, I should always say. Getting used to everything in its places right now. A few crew members that I still feel... What's the best term I can use for it?
Can't exactly be doing that now, can we?
Reflections off of.
Then again,
What does this mean?
I guess that I shouldn't be saying the parting.
What's the best way to say it?
Suit.
It's kind of... Imagine a stream, if you will. And in that stream, there's usually a steady flow of water. At least until you put a log or a stick or a stone in it, and then the water shapes around it. Similarly, my own psionics and mind are flowing throughout the area, and I can feel slight changes in the flow of it.
Maybe you can tell me some other time. I would like to know though.
Fascinating.
It is. If I had to describe it, it's like... if I had to describe you or MU, it's very similar to almost a fishing line or a net being cast and set aside. It flows through, but there's just a slight amount of resistance that I can say that there's something there.
I can at least guarantee you the drinks here are fresher.
Fascinating.
You're not drinking.
One bit.
And you're not drinking.
Or I are not. Most people have a mind, so I can still feel that. It's only when they're almost completely cybernetic that I can't really feel. Not to hold a... not to sound like I'm hate or disregarding our crew already, but MU and Thrasher are two of the individuals that set me a bit unease, given their augments.
You just have thick water at that point, like Jello.
I believe I saw the shear. The other... I do not recognize. I mean...
They're mostly covered in cybernetics. They have a strange visor on their face. Yes. From what I've picked up on chatter along the way of my walks, they're vat-grown. And then given their augments.
I've heard of such a science, but never experienced it in a large biological being.
I mean, closest I think one could compare it is almost like a clipping taking root in water.
Yes.
But
in essence,
I will also say clones and duplicates also. They feel off, but they don't feel out of place.
can you tell the difference immediately?
Not immediately. Although, like I said, with MU, it's a very, very clear case given their augments, but it would take me time to actually pinpoint a duplicate. Now, that is, of course, if they're not chattering in their mind, trying to recite what their true counterpart is actually supposed to act like. It's the intricate mind chatter that you listen to when trying to identify if someone's really who they are or not. And something that the Templars taught us.
So sitting here right now, you can hear what's going on here?
Like I said, you're more like a net in the stream. I can hear small bits. If I focused on it, I could probably hear small creaks of your mind, but I'm not sure the extent of it. I've never encountered one of your kind before, so it might even take me some time before I can get used to the, I guess the proper way to say it would be signal or frequencies.
But I would be happy to go over the different vibrations of bringing this to you if you wish to learn our language. It's more of an action, but we do think in vibration.
I'd actually like that a lot. Figure I might as well pick up and learn a new skill while I'm out here.
It can be useful.
I'd offer to teach you Vlocken, but well, maybe you might be able to pull it off if you use vibrations. It's a lot of rolling of different syllables, shall we say.
Almost all computers can learn any language, even in an effective teacher. It is something we can do, but it takes time.
Yeah. Well, Vlocka are not nearly as skilled as that. We, I guess you could say, cheat by portraying thoughts to to individuals that can hear them. But our race is taught the spoken, tactile, and signed language.
Your sign as well. Awesome.
Yes. So, most of our species, well, most of us, I should say, are still born on our homeworld of Basilica. The star there has been dying for a few centuries. We're not exactly sure when it's going to go, but we do know it's coming close. Because of this, some of the radiation that's coming off of it has caused minor mutations in our species. Eyesight and hearing tend to be the two that go. We're either born blind or deaf, usually. Some of us both.
Wow. Imagine. Yes. Do you believe it's a triumph for the psionics?
Possibly. It's hard to say. There's been no real correlation between the two. Well, aside from the fact that all Vlaka are like that, there's no correlation between deafness or blindness or both and increase in power or whatnot. So. Now, the current working...
Will you roll with both your sight and hearing?
No.
Be adjusted.
I was born deaf. I have implants so that I can actually hear.
Okay.
Usually, though, when with other psionics, I usually try to disable them so that I can communicate in a more comfortable manner with the mind.
Fascinating. I trust medical notes of those.
Yes, they picked them up on the scan.
Engineering knows how to fix them, I presume?
They should.
They fail you?
They're pretty standard implants. Worst case, I can probably... There's other tools I can use to communicate or register. Honestly, I can probably... If I tried hard enough and I got the permission and consent from someone, I could probably use them as a secondary set of ears.
Oh. My curiosity is piqued.
Well, like I said, we can communicate through the mind. As I said with the ships, our ships, we link up with them using our psionics. When we do that, it's like an extension of all of ourselves. But we also connect to the ship sensors. So our minds and our brains can actually hear what the ship hears. Hello, Dallas.
Sorry, a group of us are coming in to have some drinks.
Oh, welcome.
Yes, of course. Don't let us stop you.
Captain, actually, I had a quick question for you before we do that. Do
Hmm.
we have a janitorial, sanitary team department?
Hello.
With the ship, anyway. All right, never mind then.
But
I am the only janitor.
He's just got a lot of work ahead of him. That's all.
I was thinking I'm the only janitor.
Yeah, a lot of patchy spots, especially in the hangar. I've noticed. Speaking of which, do we have a bartender? I did a round to see where all the security cameras were, just in case security needed me to fix one. I know exactly where they were. There's a lot of places where there's a lot of blind spots. So, I noticed all those scrubby stuff. But yeah. Anyways, let's get some drinks. I don't drink alcohol, but I do like
stand around. I'm gonna take a seat.
I'm sure there's
Well, like I was telling you, Palace, much like how we have our ships, we can link with one another and use each other to sense what others cannot.
What do you like that's not alcoholic? I know you said you like to drink that
Listen,
stuff.
I think it's I find it interesting.
Yeah. Psionics are a very odd topic.
Well, most life. Anyways, that's for me. What do y'all want?
Mix of biological and spiritual.
They got any sodas up there?
Spiritual.
Yeah, there's this blue drink here.
Vlockins being the primary psionics in the UPA, delved deep into it. We found a correlation between those that deeply or have faith still. Granted, most species develop out of religion after achieving FTL or breaching into the void of space. Vlocka didn't really lose that. The mystery of the void has always been our driving factor of our beliefs. But we found a correlation between the two. Despite humans, for example, having potent psionics, they've never really reached past a higher than betas level. Different classifications of psionics. We use them to determine one's power scaling, capability of doing different abilities, or manifesting them.
Ah, yeah, here we go.
I see.
Yeah, no problem, man. Seem to have dropped that drink. There we go. There you are.
What about your species? How do you communicate over long ranges? Hmm.
Why are you laughing?
Interesting.
Try one of these sodas. Yes.
I'll give you a little bit.
I will get you there when you are going to sit. Please.
Sorry.
Not that we
Tell you what, I'll give you a little bit to try and a bottle.
I
If you
am
like it,
speaking
you
with
keep the
the
bottle.
captain, so I should be near him. Please sit.
Thanks. Thank you. Where's...
Sit on this
You
edge.
could sit on. Oh, the same couch over there you could sit on.
I like the green stuff.
So, we'll sit on this ledge.
There we go. Yeah, here's an extra bottle.
Fair enough. It's literally
I'll
make you. Have you ever heard of it?
Thank you, though. It's we do not communicate over long distances. We cannot. We are spread very thinly throughout the cosmos. But we do collect. There are groups of communities of computers, rather, that are around. But we don't have a home that was destroyed long ago. We do not seek to claim any world either, to simply exist amongst it. But for the most part, again with thinly spread, it is uncommon to see us unless you're born in a place where we've just collected, for lack of better term. But
odd.
We don't have an innate need for family, and the young ones choose a larger one to sometimes link to emotionally. And once they are no longer codependent, they will simply leave and it does not hurt the older one, as I was raised amongst humans, so I am versed in family dynamics, you would say.
Interesting.
Klaus left. It nearly broke the madam. But should a younger Proceedus leave the older one, such a thing would not have happened.
Interesting. Very different than us.
I'll use our planet as seeds. We can store our seed cards for up to 2 years. And when we find a planet we deem fit, we plant them. And we leave. It is up to the seedling for it to survive. Should it to be too weak, then it does not make it. That's as simple as it can get. Well, further intricacies. But that's about the simplest way I can explain it. Unfortunately.
Very true to adaptability and poaching.
Make sure your foot's working properly.
Poaching is a detriment to my species. Part of the reason we are also so and communities are becoming more kind.
I don't know why you're laughing. You're medical. You should treat that.
Safety in numbers sort of deal, I take it.
Correct. But there's also a bigger danger in numbers. We are quite flammable. Our species could be more easily eradicated if fire comes about. I myself was approached sadly. Luckily enough to find myself in the hands of the wife of a military scientist. Hence my issue knowledge and attachments, I suppose. They're all dead, but some of their bloodline remains.
Interesting. Can't say we experience it.
You had to care. I'm sorry.
No. It is very fortunate for you to be in the care of individuals who would actually understand you, or at least to some extent.
Yes. Our youth period only is about 3 weeks in standard universe time. So adulthood is achieved quickly. But as a sapling, again, if they did not provide me the proper space, I wouldn't have survived.
Extremely lucky then you are.
Quite.
Can't say we experience poaching. Closest thing is it's not really a close thing.
Well, he did have a spar with the head of
that is all.
He got kicked quite a few times in the head.
Some ideas for like drinks,
How long do your species usually live?
Oh, we are not immortal, but rather eternal. We can live for very long times. It just is a matter of the danger you put yourself in. We can die of old age, but we have our ways of avoiding total
erasure.
Excuse me. Yes, thank you. But we cannot do it ourselves. It must be part of us ascertained from another individual and planted. However, there's no guarantee that the gravity route will take to the survey.
So you're
is inevitable.
interesting. So you're functionally immortal, at least.
In essence.
Well, hypothetically, in theory, then, shall we say?
Yes, we have our downfalls, prone to fire, fungus, but in a solitary, sterile environment, we can be removed.
Interesting.
Can you ask the bartender for a glass of whiskey for me?
We're my own species. We don't even know how long we live. We've had individuals reach the age of. I think the oldest lived one was 700. But most of us.
That's pretty good.
That's just an estimate, though. We're not even sure if that individual was taking cytorevitalization or whatnot.
That's right. Do not like that. No, no, no.
Keep the fire down.
Sorry, I got a little bit too much on my hand on that one.
I shall listen to the doctor. I promise.
Medical, has he been clear to drink whiskey with a concussion?
No.
Should be fine. Stop him after 2.
See?
Just 2.
As you were saying, Captain.
She already had 1.
Okay.
Have a good night, Argyle.
No cups.
Yes, well, we don't know if they were receiving any specific treatments for extending their life, cytorevitalization and whatnot, but it's still difficult. Most of us don't live past our 200th.
Did you do to you?
We are a very, for lack of a better term, warlike. Conflict is... It's not it's not a requirement, and we try to avoid it when we can, but... It just happens. Sometimes there's a disagreement, and it's settled with a duel. Or a fight. Usually, one ends up killing the other. So, most of us don't live to see 200. And given the fact that you're not allowed to participate in politics until after 200, it's assumed most people just let go at that time.
Interesting.
Ready. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
And let go, you know. But they
Pass on.
terminate themselves.
It's never really known. By all standards, they were an individual who we feel as though is ready to move on, or has moved on. They're fine one day, and then The next, they're just peacefully asleep forever.
Huh.
None of us know.
Look at comatose.
It's almost as if they just completely dead. Still. It's almost as if they chose to move into the next life.
Well, you just talk about being spiritual. Do you think they can will their spirit on?
That's what some of us believe. We also believe that part of it might be a greater psionic collective. That energy that's left from them, a part of it goes off somewhere else and the other part remains and is what we utilize every day in our manipulation of things.
Interesting.
Those of us that choose to be cremated, on rare occasions, there's a bit of dust left behind. Not typical ash, but an odd dust. I can't really describe it beyond that. Usually a bluish color in nature. But it registers on our scanners as psionic in nature.
Oh, I just need a snack. Yeah. This is pre-dinner. I think my snack is much smaller than yours.
I don't know what that substance could be.
Unknown to us still.
Perhaps a psionic biological? Could it consumable? Do you think it would enhance your abilities?
We have no clue on that front. Even our military... To us, that would be desecrating the dead. Even our military as a... What's the proper term for it? As warhawk-like as they are. They wouldn't even try that, so... For now, it will remain a mystery to us. Some questions we feel like better left unanswered.
Yes, well, considering the dead is very much frowned upon, so... I suppose it'll be up to future generations or your scientists to figure out what that is, how to proceed.
Thank you.
More than likely. Although, perhaps a different perspective needs to be looked at for it. We're too personally attached to it, so... Maybe an outside source would be a better individual to look into it.
I was trying to clean up. Sorry.
I see.
You are doing the right thing.
Well...
We only have one janitor. He's probably very busy.
Hopefully, that you don't come across any of that. But should you, we can happily research it for you.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I would say they do a great job.
I've only cleaned this pedal and
Doctor.
Just be careful in the science room with too many chemicals. You might, there's a such thing as too sanitized, and any residue is not good.
It might be a good idea to have someone from the...
That's unfortunate.
It might be a good idea to have somebody from the department oversee them just in case, you know, when they're cleaning science.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
We trust you, just,
Let's
you know,
do.
don't want to have a spill
Yeah.
in there.
Most
Don't want the red liquid to mix with the green liquid, you know?
Yeah, but also most fragrant things kind of leave a residue behind, so you have to stay away from that as well.
So I might have to do it another day.
I don't think most of the chemicals that are in the storage have
Yes.
Hopefully we can finally figure out the whole entire room situation.
Have you seen the core room yet?
Causing the most confusion right now.
Yes. Make
so that's the one
just
like
sleep in
early
bed for now.
That's the water.
Will be simple.
Yeah, the one bottom deck? Top?
Just
Which is the
one with
elevator?
the
I've
dome with
seen
all
both.
Yes.
There's
Because just skeleton.
We just found this out.
Yes.
There's one by the airlock that you can take down to the reactor, and then I'll take you back in the middle.
Yeah. That's it. I'm talking. Yeah, the reactor. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's also an AI core under the elevator by the reactor. The living quarters, the crew quarters.
Oh, I thought there was
Oh,
something
that's
wrong.
what that is. I thought that was like some
Gotcha.
radioactive
Ugh.
thing.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
not too big on AI, but
Yeah, only select.
A lot of
I gotta live with it now.
After all, it is
noise.
the reactor.
I see.
At least I'm crunching my
Struck
own
my
numbers,
roots.
not asking you to crunch my numbers for me. So,
Mercer.
at least I know the.
I just finished doing the last bit of checks. Making sure everything else is in order. Probably gonna turn in for the night.
Alright. I'm probably not too far behind.
Alright. No more drinks. Anyone else want anything else before? I remove myself.
Good night, Captain.
Good night.
Stuck in one behind my back.
I did not do any such thing.
Good night, Director.
I am fine. Chip.
No one wants any more.
Yes.
The doctor told me to have you check on me because I am concussed. Allegedly.
You're definitely concussed,
I do not feel concussed.
but I'll keep an eye on you.
You vomited?
No.
Hmm?
All right. I have bottom bunk.
Yes.
Good night, Captain.
Good night.
We should have a conversation tomorrow.
Agreed.
Alright. I'm so sorry you got a bunk with him. That's not very interesting. I'm in the room next to you. I'm in 3, so if you need anything, you can watch me yell.
Apparently they snore. I hope that's okay with you. I sleep like a rock.
I don't know if
so.
it'll go through. Alright, that's good. Captain, do you need anything? Any drinks before I leave the bar?
No, I'm fine. Thank you, though.
Hey, boss, do you drink anything?
Just water, but thank you for enriched water. But thank you, Dallas.
Tree bean drinks some water.
So,
Who would have thought?
Well,
would you like the top bunk or the bottom bunk? I
Much
see.
easier for you. If they drink things
The
like
top
ginger
bunk
and
for me,
water.
please. I hope you're not scared of being
Probably.
crushed in your sleep.
Might be good for them. One of the few ways that they can.
I mean, I'd
get
prefer if you could
nutrients.
avoid it, but I believe the ship's infrastructure is able to hold your weight, so.
I'm gonna have to remember Dallas.
I am merely trying to be comical with you. Of course, I will try to fit myself
I
below.
wasn't there. I wasn't there when everyone introduced each other.
No. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Anything that's gonna go over you, you take it.
You still need to.
Your health over
You still need to
uncomfort.
do that.
Yes.
By the way, you left.
It is small regardless, so I will need to
we all introduce ourselves in that circle. Yeah, and I mentioned
manipulate my structure.
I'm so used to the door being automatic.
They're the pilot. They also do tech things.
True, true. I'll probably come to you for help. Like as
How do you feel about working with AI?
Yeah, that's what I didn't get to answer. If it's anything to do with harming someone else, I'm not going to help you. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. But
well,
if it's like for the ship or something, then sure. I feel
it'll be for the ship because as we narrow down, we don't have a AI specialist in the department. And
there we go. Hey,
yeah, I was going to try and work with it as best as I can, and the other person, I can't remember. I feel horrible, but I can't remember his name. He said he was going to help, and if you wanted help as well.
Okay.
As a computer geek as well.
With a guiding hand, I can pretty much do anything.
Matthew. That was okay. Cool. That's good to know. I gotta go to bed now though. All right. Okay. Good night, Captain.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Sleep well.
Full first day.
I'll be in the gymnasium for the time being before I turn in. Other than that, have a good night, everyone.
Sure, Captain.
Well, yeah, the training room is also a gym. Yeah, I saw like a.
Alright. Not doing too much. Still have the morning one for it. There's something to burn the energy off. And now. What's the habit? Actually. Hmm.